Warning, this video contains rumors, speculation, strong opinions, and
welcome everyone, all you geeks, all you gamers, nerds, players, you're all welcome here for some entertainment. I am been missing being entertained, so I'm gonna look at possibly a JODY'S Corner video. You know, I love the cover, JODY'S Corner. People have been telling me to check out this Lightcast, and it popped up in my notifications. I was like, that's my boy Enosh on Lightcast. I got to check out this video. So I did not pre-watch it, and just to show you, I'm gonna subscribe. Oh, we get to be the 100th like. Hell yeah. You could let Cuss know I was the 100th like. Oh, 2 thumbs down. 2 thumbs down. So let's see what this is all about. I have a feeling it's about that certain corner. I want to hear their thoughts. It's not a long video. I think it's like it's 8 minutes. We can react to that. All right, here we go. Make sure the volume's up.
When it came to the people that didn't want it, you had some things to say about it on the show, and I think you went after it pretty extensively.
I will say I looked into the wishing death upon Jody, and I find it kind of completely ridiculous. At worst, he was making a joke. Because this Lightcast was brought up by Keo Bands, one of JODY'S strongest supporters that comes in my chat. And at worst, he was making a fat joke, saying you should exercise or you could get the Bud Light. He wasn't wishing it upon him. He was saying go exercise. Hey, take that for what you will. I need to go exercise myself. So what am I? Do I think Matthew is an absolute hater? No. I think it was a jab at his weight. With as much heat as you're throwing at the Snyder Cut supporters, doing that, you could say maybe it was lame, maybe it wasn't a great joke, but come on, saying he wished death upon Jody Thomas. That's absolutely ridiculous.
I
mean, based on internet standards too, that's light, a light cast. Oh.
Nail on the head. I guess it was one of your videos. It had to do with JODY'S Corner.
Oh yes, yeah. Yes, my favorite subject.
You didn't even wait before your intro.
I'm a fan.
You were already in it. You're just like, you waited, and I was looking at your expressions, and you're like, how are you this naive? Like, in a way, like, how are you this disgusted that we're getting something that everybody wants? How can somebody be so negative about it? You had a lot to say about it. Can you talk about that?
Yeah. So like I said, we try to stay pretty positive on our channel.
Yeah.
You know, and so I don't try to, sensationalize or go after people or whatever. But when the Snyder Cut was announced, and I was watching that live stream, man, I watched Man of Steel that day, and it was exciting, and seeing Henry and everything, and you saw the joy in people's faces that we were going to get to see this movie, that we were going to get to see this vision. And then the response, the overwhelming response, I thought, man, this is going to be something good. This is going to be something that brings fans together. It's going to be a positive thing. And then all of a sudden I saw a video by Andy Signore. And I was like, wait a second. Like, I get it. Like, the week before, he had put out a video that said it wasn't coming because his sources had told him, that it wasn't coming. And that's fine. You can report news. If the news is it's not coming, it's not coming. And you can be wrong. And that's fine too. And you come back and you just say, hey, I was wrong. Obviously, we got it, right? But then I'm seeing this trickle-down effect, and I'm watching JODY'S Corner, and honestly, Jody was not somebody who was like on my radar for a long time. I had seen a couple of his videos, but I wasn't really like into what he was doing.
Now I am.
And I'm not saying that to be facetious now on the back end, like, oh, I just didn't care about what Jody was doing.
I care.
I honestly, he was not somebody that I watched. I watched Andy Signore, and I was very aware of Andy Signore. And so, like, I watched Andy kind of talk about this stuff and talking about like the Snyder cult and that these people were negative. These people were vicious and bullies.
It's all based on spin by the certain corner. You have to believe everything he says. I don't even believe he's for charity. Look at the damn t-shirts. It was an afterthought. He's an absolute liar. Okay?
I was like, who's a bully? The fact that we wanted a movie? How is that being a bully? And then I watched Jody's Corner, and I watched this man literally spews just the stupidest lines that I had ever heard as a DC fan, as a fan of stuff. I like stuff. I'm sorry. I will not apologize for liking stuff. Like, you like what you like. I like what I like. I'm not going to demonize you for liking what you like. You know, if you like something, awesome. If you don't like it, we can have that conversation too. And I have had that conversation many times because I'm a fan of The Last Jedi. So in the brunt of some of those things, you know, but we've always been polite about it, and we have discussions about it. And I have many friends who don't like The Last Jedi, and it's okay.
Yeah, me.
But when I see Jody like banging down this door of, if you wanted this, you're just a horrible person. You're a bully. You're just trying to get your way. You're ruining DC.
Yeah, and releasing the asylum, giving them what they want.
You're ruining the future of DC because DC shouldn't be this way, and this is not DC. And I'm like, this is absolutely DC. This is what the comic books have been. And it showed me his ignorance. It showed me the fact that he doesn't understand. He's saying Zack Snyder doesn't understand these characters. It showed me Jody doesn't have a clue. And I sat there going,
I want
is
to talk
ridiculous.
to you, Matthew.
Like, why isn't anybody saying anything about this? How can you call yourself a DC fan and attack DC fans?
Right.
Why can't we, if you don't like Zack Snyder, if you don't like his movies, that's fine. There are other movies that are out there, and there are other interpretations of these characters.
Right.
And that's what makes it beautiful. There's a multiverse in DC. There's a lot of history there. But this was a totally different thing. This was a campaign to bring about a man's vision where he had gone through all this stuff. Zack Snyder obviously lost, you know, his child. He lost, you know, basically his second child by losing his movie too. How could you be negative about that? How could you be angry about that? It literally just kind of blew my mind. It really confused me of like how somebody could be that just negative and angry that somebody else was happy.
You're right. Right on.
I don't understand that. I still don't understand that. I've watched other, you know, one of his videos, and his whole thing, like when he thought that it wasn't coming,
he's
or
a circus act. That's what it. I mean, unfortunately, this is the game in YouTube. He's an act. He's an act. His views have gone up. I mean, we're part of the problem. His views have gone up since he's been acting like an idiot. Okay.
Whatever. Like, he literally has videos mocking DC fans who just want to see this movie come to be. Like, why would you do that? What kind of person does that? And so I had to make a video about it. Yeah. And I got into it, man. And I was very upset at the time. And I'm still upset. I'm still kind of riled up by it because I just don't, I try to look at things in a positive light. I try to give people the benefit of the doubt. I try to have conversations with people. I love the fact that I have friends from many different backgrounds and cultures and likes and dislikes and you know, pop culture fandoms and stuff. And I think that that's what we should be doing, is coming together as fans. And even if you're not super excited about the Snyder Cut, at least be able to say, hey, you know what? He's getting his thing. And if they move on and do stuff from here, if this is good, because we all know that if this is good, if this is right, the fans of this stuff are going to see this is the definitive version. This is how this is. And we're all hearing these rumors and talks about, you know, HBO Max continuing these stories, you know, possibly. It does not mean you know, Jody acts like if that happens, if we get, you know, more Ben Affleck, for example, if Ben Affleck comes back and portrays Batman, and they do this thing where they're talking about that we talked about earlier, where, you know, Jared Leto comes back, or Deathstroke and all that stuff. If they do that on HBO Max, that does not mean that we can't have other versions of Batman.
True.
We've still got Robert Pattinson Batman. They can do other things because DC's a multiverse. It's one of the great things that's built into DC is you can have multiple stuff. And we live in a world right now where, because for years, man, and you know this, Matt, for years we were told and it was acted like, well, you can't have Superman on TV and Superman in a movie because people will be confused.
No, we get it.
Right?
We get it.
You can't have Batman on TV and Batman in a movie because, well, people will be confused as to who's who. We're not stupid. We get it. There's different versions. It does, just because somebody plays Superman in a movie doesn't mean he has to be on the TV show and vice versa. So I love the fact that we're finally getting this world where these characters can exist in multimedia. And we get it. There's cartoons, man. There's all kinds of animation. There's TV shows now, with the Arrowverse, and we're getting a Superman show next year. And it's great because we can have Superman. And you know what? Look, Tyler Hoechlin is a huge Superman fan. He's not my favorite Superman. I don't like everything that they've done with Superman on TV, but I love the character. So I'm going to watch that TV show. But man, I absolutely want Henry Cavill to come back as Superman.
Yes,
we're fans. We can understand the difference. And so that was my whole basis for making some of those videos and talking about this stuff, is because first of all, people who are acting like that, people like Jody, who are just trying to cause division amongst the fandom and trying to sow this discord amongst people, they need to shut up.
Oh, that was
dangerous.
all right. That was a great place to stop. I'm gonna say you're your 100th like. Go smash the hell out of his channels. Tell him the Madman sent you. Lightcast and Enosh. All right. I'm your 100th like. Thanks for having Enosh on. Thumbs up. Okay. All right. So how do I diagnose that hot take? He needs to shut up at the end. Wow. Enosh bringing the hate. That's a hot take, Enosh in Lightcast. Yeah, I agree with everything they said. He's trying to sow division, profit off of it. And the claims of being attacked and harassed are greatly exaggerated. Actually, if you want a part 2 of how exaggerated they are, let me know and I'll make my own video about the ridiculousness from that certain corner, how they exaggerate stuff for clicks, t-shirts, and views. And at any cost. Just so you side with them. Oh, we're being attacked and harassed. I forget his actual comment. Is basically lose some exercise is good to avoid the virus. That was the comment or something. Maybe if he gets enough cash apps. Oh, I better stop now. All right, I'm gonna get myself into trouble. Bye, everyone. Hot take. That's my diagnosis.